Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, Out of Voice Radio. So today, I'm showing you a couple of cards that we are getting that look like little cards that don't seem like they're very exciting, that don't seem like we need them. But ladies and gentlemen, both of these cards are very, very, very much needed and are going to make a big difference. First of all, Rockruff. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm making a video about Rockruff. I don't need no Lycanroc right now. This video is not about Lycanroc. This video is about Rockruff. You see, Lycanroc sees a lot of play, specifically the Lycanroc GX of the Midnight form, although also the one from Burning Shadows is pretty gosh darn good. And I did make a video about the upcoming Dusk form the other day, which I believe could be pretty good and could see a bit of play, especially post-rotation. Problem is, we don't like the Rockruffs we have right now. We have two options for Rockruff. We've got this one from Guardians Rising, 60 HP, and you can do 30 damage on a coin flip for 2 energy. Yeah. And the promo one, which is actually a little bit better, because you can do a guaranteed 20 for 2 energy. Woo! But it's still got 60 HP. A while ago, Japan got this Rockruff in a Pikachu GX, Mimikyu GX set, and it's got 70 HP. Well, we never got that set. And I hate to break it to you, ladies and gentlemen, but we're never getting that set. That set is not coming out over here, which is really annoying because Mimikyu GX has actually seen a little bit of play in Japan, boo, hiss, etc. And actually annoying for me on a personal level because there was a Beware in that set, which we're never getting. Boo, etc. Now, that Rockruff had 70 HP, which instantly makes it the best Rockruff. Why is 70 HP such a big deal? There are many reasons. Let's take a Buzzwole. Buzzwole hits 30 to the active and 30 to the bench. That means that if you get hit by residual damage twice, you're KO'd. Unless you got 70 HP, in which case you're good. Similarly, let's take your average Buzzwole deck. They play strong energy, so they can do 50 damage along using Jet Punch. And then they generally play a single copy of Regirock EX so that they can do 60 damage. That's enough to KO a 60 HP Lycanroc, but not a 70 HP Lycanroc. Some do play Fighting Fury bout as well, which would get them to KO, but they are in the minority. Then you've got stuff like Tapu Koko, the promo that does 20 damage to all of your opponent's Pokemon. Stuff like Decidueye that can drop 2 damage counters at a time. And now you're hopefully starting to see there is a huge difference between 60 and 70 HP. There are many games where a KO happens against a Rockruff because it's got 60 HP that would not happen if it had 70 HP. This is absolutely huge. Now, as a side note, this Rockruff actually has a decent attack as well, which is quite nice. Possibly better than the Rockruff attacks, well, the other Rockruff attacks. It's 50 damage, flip a coin, if tails, it fails. Alright, it's not amazing, but it's better than doing 30 damage on a coin flip, although you can't use double colorless energy. And we would be averaging 25 damage here. I know you can't ever do 25 damage, but bear with me. You'd be averaging 25 damage here rather than guaranteed 20 damage. It's generally better. Now, I should mention my translation for this Rockruff comes from the lovely Antoine Boulay. He is a lovely man. I say it a lot, and I continue to be proved right. And some of you might be thinking, hang on a second, Wassy, come on here. You're making a video about Rockruff? Yes. Because Lycanroc sees a lot of play, and this is genuinely significant. It's a big deal. For experienced players, there's a 70 HP Rockruff. You need to know about this. You'll know what a big deal it is. For newer players, it's worth pointing out how big a deal this is. The other card we're getting is we are getting a reprint of Judge. This was revealed over at Pokebeach.com, who did provide a lovely translation. Although, look at the card. He's got a whistle. It's clearly a Judge. We all know what Judge does. We can, of course, also compare it to a previous Judge card, with the Japanese text and see that the names are in fact the same. So we know what Judge is, and we know what Judge does. It forces both players to shuffle their hands into their decks and draw 4 new cards. Now, at the moment, we've got Judge. You might be thinking, come on, Wassy, we don't need a new Judge, but we do. Because Judge was released in Breakthrough. And even in the off chance that I'm wrong about the rotation being Sun and Moon on, I'm not, but even if I am, Breakthrough is the oldest legal set we have at the moment, which means if there is any rotation of any description, we are losing Judge for next format. And this is a card we want back. Now, in terms of disruption, the most relevant card we've got at the moment is N. But unless we get a reprint, N is rotating out, so we're not going to have much disruption. All of a sudden, a card like N getting a reprint looks pretty good because we can use it for that disruption. That's very nice. Now, of course, we do have a Marshadow at the moment, which literally has this in an ability. It's the Marshadow from Shining Legends, which has got the Let Loose ability, which is exactly the same as this, but it's nice to have it in a supporter card rather than having it in an ability, so you don't necessarily have to bench a Pokemon to use it. Although I suppose you could always bench Tapu Lele to search for it, to use it. It's good disruption, and in a format where we're going to be losing N, having some kind of disruption is good. We've had some truly evil turn 1 cards. Turn 1 gets this. Go first, drop a gets this, your opponent shuffles all their item cards into their hand, you sit there laughing. All the cards from their hand into their deck. There we go. And, okay, this is nowhere near on gets this level, but it's still nice disruption. And we need some kind of disruption. And let's face it, sooner or later there is bound to be a new Yanmega card released, which is going to make use of Judge. I say Yanmega because Yanmega Prime from back in the day, if you've got the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, the attack cost of all of its attacks is 0. Judge works nicely for that. And then we've got the Yanmega from Steam Siege, which has got Sonic Vision. If you've got exactly 4 cards in your hand, it attacks for free. Now, to be fair, we do expect this Yanmega to rotate at the same time as Judge, so it's not like we need Judge next format for this Yanmega. But again, it's nice to have it here. It's important to have this card because you never know what's going to be released in the future. You never know if we're going to be getting a card in the future that really needs a card like this. And that's kind of the point, ladies and gentlemen. Even if we don't need this card now, it's a card we love having for the future. I mean, it's a fairly extreme example, but let's look at Bridget. Bridget came out in Breakthrough and saw very, very little play, niche play here and there. Nobody was really using it. Then Tapu Lele gets released, everyone realises they can search for it on turn 1, and now Bridget is literally one of the most played cards in the entire format. Now, the other thing you need to remember about Judge here, we don't have many options in the future for draw power. When the rotation hits, we expect to lose N. We expect to lose Professor Sycamore. Okay, we're still going to have Cynthia, but we need some draw power. We need some shuffle draw here. Now, especially when you consider that you can always go ahead and do something like have a Zoroark out, so that when you play Judge, your opponent is hurt a lot more than you, because you Judge and then start using the trade ability to draw more cards, whereas your opponent just sits there and cries because they don't have enough cards. I'm not saying Judge is going to be a staple post-rotation. It's not a 4-of in every deck. But it is a card that is likely to see some play, and it is a card that, quite frankly, some players are going to want to use. And the format's not going to be worse because we've got more draw supporters. Pokemon, as far as I'm concerned, has always been more fun when we can do what we want. So back in the day, back in the Diamond and Pearl era, we had a combination of Uxie and Claydol. And back in that format, people would play 1-0-1 lines of Stage 2s because their decks were that consistent. I want as many draw options as possible. I love that a card like Judge is coming back into format, but we need it with N rotating out. I'm not giving scores for these cards because that's not really what this video is about, but what I can tell you very nicely is these cards are needed and they're going to see play. But as with all of these, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear from you lovely people, so let me know in the comment section what you think about these cards. Do you agree that we need them? Go nuts! Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and so on, that's what Patreon is for. Head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio. It's all there. I think it's lovely, but I would say that I'm a little bit biased. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.